Yo, check it. 9th and 10th regions, stand up. I say stand up. Stand up. Bright lights shining, about to put on the show. The Stay Hot podcast where the real ones go. High school hoops, future legends on deck. Talking next up, star sport and Nike check. From the hardwood grind to the highlight play. Breaking ankles, dropping dimes, scoring every way. Chasing big moments in every manner. From driveway dreams to championship banners. It's the passion, the culture, the hustle, the grind. Every jumper, every crossover, greatness defined. Shooting the deep three or rocking the rims on a small town stage or in sold out gyms. So lace up your kicks, turn the volume up. The season don't end till we get to rough. Future legends in the making, every player grinds. A Stay Hot podcast where the stars align.
Welcome to the Stay Hot podcast. Coach Patrick Kelch alongside Evan Dennison, who's back from the opponent that no one defeated last week, the dreaded stomach bug. And alongside us is legendary 9th Region coach, Coach Rod Snapp. And Coach Snapp, thanks for joining us tonight. I know Sunday nights aren't easy for everyone, and usually as a coach, that's our family night. But we do appreciate you taking some time with us. And Evan, thank you for giving back. Last week, I found out how hard it was to do one of these by yourself when you don't have somebody to fill up some of that free time and dead air, and trying to find something to talk about for an hour and 15 minutes for yourself. It was tough. So glad you're feeling better.
Yeah, man, that stomach bug is rough. So I don't advise getting it, but it's definitely going around.
They ran a boxing one on you, took you completely out of the game.
Snapp's like, don't let that thing hit my team. I've had enough injuries. I bet.
We've had enough bad luck with injuries and sickness and all that.
How you doing, man?
Good. How you guys doing?
Doing great. Haven't been able to see you yet, but that's going to change here probably this week. So
okay.
Yeah, I know we've had Josh Cobb out there to see you. I don't know if Ray Schaefer's been out there yet or not, but excited to see what the Wildcats can do this year. So yeah, we'll get started with you guys. You're 8-4 right now. It seems like you're playing better basketball. I didn't even know there was a Louisville, Ohio. I guess that one of the later games you guys have played, but It does seem like you guys are kind of turning the corner, getting healthy, and playing better basketball right now.
I think that's the biggest thing right now. We've had, I think, 3 players total out of our 12 that dress varsity that have played in all 12 games, and that's it. We've had a flu bug. We've had ankle sprains. We've had concussion. I don't know if I've had a team in all my years at Newport that we haven't collectively had together. Like, we haven't had the whole team even practice together for 3 days in a row. So we did practice today. The Glover kid had an ankle sprain, so he's been out. Lowe had a concussion, and then he had another little sprain. So we're going to send him out on Tuesday. And then hopefully get past Tuesday and in the All-A and get to the semis on Friday. But the Keegan Farrell, the big kid, he's 6'5", about 230. He got hurt against Evangel Christian over at Swagger. He rolled his ankle about 1:44 into the game. So that, just had some bad luck, but it's better now than later, hopefully.
Putting the trainer to work.
Yeah, sure.
It's probably wrapping ankles and doing concussion tests, and I'm sure that's not fun, and I imagine that's pretty frustrating.
Then you got to get them cleared. That's the thing. You got to be safe and get them cleared.
Yeah. So kind of 12 games is probably a little below average, maybe what the other teams have played so far this year around the state. Did you kind of want to do that by design in terms of going lighter here early and then maybe stockpiling things come here mid-January into February?
I just feel like in December, for the last few years, we played so many games.
Yeah.
December, we just piled them on. We try to stretch it out. And I thought this year, with being a kind of a newer team and having some new guys and some younger guys with our youth, that we kind of throw in some more of the heavy hitter schedule come February. We got, of course, our district opponents. We have Dixie, Connor. We have Boyd County. So we have, some pretty tough home games. just try to prepare us for district play. I think we have a total of maybe 26 games, 27. We lost a game with the John Turner Classic that was canceled because of weather, so that kind of hurt. I'm trying to think. There was one other game too. So, I mean, I'm not even sure how many other games teams have played around the area of the state, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say average probably 14, 15 games. So not like very far below average or whatever. But yeah, that was a bummer with the John Turner, because I imagine that's probably a decent moneymaker for you guys too.
It is, and it's a good event, and we get some good teams. We had Elder and Campbell County, and Ryle and Holy Cross, and teams that travel well and they're close, and it's a nice little fundraiser for us. Then everybody wants to possibly move it down the road and move it to another weekend, but it's impossible. You just can't. Everybody's playing. You can't match the teams up. It's hard to get all the teams to match up again. So we'll give it another round next year. We'll try it again.
All right. So, like I said, at 8-4, Amonte Lowe, feel like he maybe came into the season a little bit under the radar. A lot of us talk about Athens McGillis and Anthony Blacker and, guys like that, Finn Loudon, and rightfully so. Those are great players, but, Monte Lowe's, I think, in terms of the discussion, as one of the top players in this region, and he's showing that. I mean, yeah, he's averaging 22 points a game, but I think what's impressed me the most so far, just looking at box scores and what he's doing, he's shooting the ball at a very efficient rate. Yes. And I don't know what his assist numbers are, but I imagine he's getting his teammates involved too. So what is it with Amonte that you've seen this year that makes you think like, wow, he's really taking his game to the next level? Because honestly, he had to for you guys.
I think that's what we kind of put on his shoulders. We challenged him and said, you've played behind a lot of really good guards. And you've been playing here at Newport since 7th grade. So you've been playing second, third fiddle for a while. We saw signs. We saw a lot of, big moments in the All-Ace, when we went to the state, made a state run and then a regional tournament and district play. So, of course, we sat him down and said, here's what we need from you. And, if you want to play at the next level and play in college, you got to be able to sprint into a 3-point shot, and you got to be able to shoot off the dribble. You got to be crafty, kind of like he said, an Athens McGillis. The one thing that's impressive, and I always look back, is, like you said, his percentages are really good. It's his percentages. So he's what, 44%
from three.
3-point line. That's elite in high school.
Yeah.
Especially unless you're just catching and shooting.
Right.
Guys you just kept throwing, but off the dribble and off the bounce, I hate to say it. I've used my son, Ethan Snapp, as an example a little bit. I always told him, if you want to play at a Division II level or a low D1, you got to be different. You got to be crafty. You can't just catch and shoot. You can't be predictable. You need to be unpredictable and be able to move without the ball, be able to do other things. But I mean, he's really stepped up. I hope he can continue to do that, and stay locked in and stay healthy and provide that leadership role. We talk about, just him playing with some of these inexperienced guys, and they're going to follow his lead. He practices really, really hard. That helps because he practices for an hour and 15 to an hour and a half every time we practice. He goes really hard. So that helps. So when he gets into a game, he's not just trying to do something different or try to, play at a different level or different speed. So very pleased with his performance so far.
You get some strong complimentary efforts from Irvan Nichols. Sean Hurry's getting about 6 and 6 a game for you. Yeah. You got, like you said, Glover and then Keegan Farrell and a couple other guys, throwing in some points here and there. So, what are you liking, from this group as a collective unit in terms of just their cohesiveness and how they're kind of improving each day?
The biggest thing is defense. We really focus on our half-court defense. You got to be able to guard because, we are very inconsistent scoring. Mm-hmm. You never know, how we're going to shoot. Monte Lowe's been good. Or Van Nichols been getting downhill into the paint. Keegan Farrell's been big. If he can stay healthy and keep doing what he's doing, he's been big. He's a lunch pail hard hat guy. He just gets inside, up and unders. He's rough. He's strong. Like I said, he's 6'5", 230 pounds. I think he's going to play Division II college football. Got a few offers for football. He's extremely coachable. And then Hurry, he's a rough guy. Those two are they're rough. They're physical. They're kind of fearless. We played a Cincinnati Woodward team that was they were just really big and athletic. And I was concerned because Amonte didn't play and Glover was out. And I said, guys, we got to rebound. And those two they were just rough and physical, did all the dirty work. They finished around the rim. But the one thing I do like, and we kind of hang our hat on really right now, is just our defense, just to try to cause chaos and turn the ball over, hopefully allow a team to one shot, challenge all shots. I mean, that's just kind of what we're doing just right now with being inconsistently offensively.
And now we approach the All-A, big week for the program. Yeah. What do you think about the All-A? Do you like this tournament? I mean, it's obviously been very successful for you guys, winning state a couple years ago at it, and then you've played at that tournament a couple times.
I've told somebody that the other day. They're like, "Well, what do you think?" I said, we've been blessed. I mean, we did the ultimate goal that you could achieve. You won it. I mean, smaller public school, we won it. It's awesome. It was great. It was fun. It was, but of course, you talk about your goals at the beginning of the year. You want to win a district, you want to win a region, you want to get to the state tournament. I mean, it's awesome to get there and try to make a run and just, it's a great experience. Like I tell everybody, around here in this area, people don't understand in Northern Kentucky, there's been 4 coaches that have ever won it in this area ever. So, I mean, you got Covcath won it twice, Holmes, Simon Kent, in 81?
Yeah.
In Highlands.
Right.
So it's not that easy, man. I mean, it's tough. It's we talk about just winning a championship at anything, an All-A region, and all districts. It's special and difficult to be a part of any kind of championship. We don't hang our hat on a whole season for it. Of course, we've talked about it. We want to be dangerous in it. We want to try to. We still want to win games, but it's not the end of the world at all. And some of the kids don't even really understand it yet because they've never really played in it.
Funny story about that. The year you guys won it, Deshaun Jackson hits the buzzer beater against Lyon County. We're talking, interviewing him after the game, and we're like, "Do you even know what this tournament?" He's like, I don't know, man. We're just playing. I know it's some sort of state tournament. So he didn't even know the moment and how big that was. And that year you guys won it though. I mean, you really, really won 4 very tough games. You beat that Sayre team in the first round, who, if they were in any other district in the 11th region that year, they would have been in the region tournament.
Right, for sure.
Because they had Frederick Douglass, Bryan Station, all those teams to deal with. Henry Clay was really good that year.
Really
then
tough.
you had to beat Danville Christian, who had the big dudes. And then obviously Lyon County in the semis. That wasn't even the championship.
No.
And then Lyon County won the state championship that year.
Right.
And then you had to beat Evangel, who was a state semifinalist that year.
And they won it the year before that.
Yeah, they beat Jacob Meyer and those guys.
It's funny you say that about that because we had teachers in our school. Man, what a great year. Way to finish the year. We're halfway done. The season's not over. We're still playing. They thought the season was over. So there's a lot of people that really kind of other states can't even wrap their head around it.
Right.
So you have a small school state tournament, or you have this. We had a guy called me today, actually wants to play in Shawnee in an event and play Irington, Ohio. And I'm like, we got this All-A. I tried to explain it to them. And they just can't wrap their brain around it. They just can't.
It's funny. I love it. I think it's a great tournament. I wish it would get back to EKU someday because I think that's a really cool arena.
Now they have a 2A tournament, right? 2A.
Yeah, they got a 2A too. So I mean, I think it's a neat idea. It's something in season that, like you said, a goal to shoot for.
The 2A didn't kick off anything like the Class A did, because at Pendleton County, where I'm at now, we're in 2A. We don't even participate in it.
Yeah,
there's only 5 or 6 teams in our section that even participate in 2A.
How many teams playing a 2A?
Probably 30-ish.
About 30.
Yeah, because there's no one up here that does.
Right. Now there's over 100 teams in the All-A.
Right.
Yeah.
There's over 100 teams. So it's Yeah, it's definitely a neat event.
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't even know what it was when I first came over here. I was from Indiana, and I was over in
Right.
Indiana. I came over here, and I coached. I was an assistant for 4 years at Dixie. So I was like, we're going to watch the All A. I had no idea what it was. I didn't know. So I mean, there's the thing is too. I told our kids today we had practice, and I said it's really cool that we get to be part of a tournament because a lot of these schools and these big schools, they play for a district, and that's it. They get beat, they're done.
Yeah.
Then you get the region, you get a chance. But we at least get a chance to play for a single A regional state tournament. It's kind of neat. Middle of the year, get a little prep before the district.
And that
So
trophy's cooler than what the state tournament
yeah,
trophy is, the real one. I love that trophy. It's obviously been a lot of change for you all over the last couple of years. Prep school being the main factor in that. I mean, I don't think there's another coach in the state that can say they have lost 3 kids to the prep school route in the last 2 years. Talk about that process and just what it's been like as a head coach of a program that loses 3 kids of that high caliber. How does that kind of alter things for you? How do you kind of just mentally stay positive through all that? But I mean, you gotta give props to those kids too for taking advantage of their opportunities as well.
I think the first one that left, we had a good meeting. It was about a 30, 45-minute meeting, and he was really unsure. And
Is this Talon?
yeah, and
Okay.
he felt like if he went, that I'm coming back my senior year because I want to do this, this, and this. And I'm like, if you leave, from what I hear and the experience that I've heard from other kids, if you leave, you're not coming back, which is fine. And when money starts getting to be involved, that's a game changer. Let's face it. I'm an IU football fan. I went to the IU game yesterday to watch the Hoosiers play, and they blew it against Nebraska. I mean, it happens. And I've had a lot of coaches come in the gym, and I joke around with some of those guys, and I'm like, well, how much you gonna pay for this kid? You're going to buy this kid. Like Patino came in there from Xavier one day, and how much you want to pay for this kid? You're buying kids now. It's not the facilities. It's not the coach. It's how much you're going to. I mean, IU's got 24 kids coming in for football already, and I know Cuban's forking out all kinds of money. John Mellencamp. I mean, it is rolling. That helps. Now, if it's up to Wildcats as much, they looked a lot better yesterday.
Well, anytime you got Mark Cuban on your side, you have to like your chances to land somebody.
For sure. So I kind of knew that was probably going to happen. He knew that place where he went, his platform of social media, he felt like would be huge, which he was right. But the offers didn't change a lot. It didn't really. I mean, he went from maybe 40. He went from 40 at Newport to maybe 10 there. But
I mean, when you were at practice his sophomore year, I think I remember Matt Painter was here. Bruce Pearl was in the building.
And the thing is, I think AAU's. I mean, I know AAU's big too. Getting on the right AAU program, playing well, and excelling in the AAU environment, having some big games. All it takes is 1 game, 2 games. I told my son his sophomore year, I said, hey, there's about. He noticed a lot of coaches, and he was a skinny sophomore. And I said, there's a lot of coaches here. Okay. There's a bunch, and they're not here to see you right now. But if you play really, really well, they were playing like Kansas, pump and run out of Kansas, an EYBL team, and he played on a local team. They started the game off with 10 technicals. The team brought the wrong uniforms. He was 9 for 10 from foul line. He ended up with 40 points, and he heard from everybody. It was awesome. It was a really cool experience. Davidson with what's his name?
Bob McKillop.
Yeah, it was awesome. Man. We met him and Danny, man. Met so many coaches, and of course, he was 6'1", maybe 100 pounds. So that definitely shied people away a little bit. But so you just never know. You never know. So of course, Tay went there, did well, likes it, but he always wants to come back. He's been back to practice. He's involved with a lot of our kids still.
I love that he gives back, like he's had kid camps. He did a Christmas for some kids.
Did a signing at the school. And then, of course, Turner, I had James for 4 years. They had a different vision on things. They wanted him to get more development and develop more. They want him to they felt like his offers might, pick up more or pick up higher major offers. just to get out and be in something different. He is playing for a prep school powerhouse. I mean, they're loaded. They are loaded. He does play. Of course, he's playing with high major, guards. Let's face it. It's a guards game. It's a guards game. And if you're a size of James, like 6'7", 6'6", whatever, you better have some guard skills. You better be like a guard, shoot off the dribble, shoot threes. So jumping into that with Starks, he's playing with a kid named CJ Rosser. He's a 6'8", 2 guard. He's an NBA player. I mean, he's unbelievable, that kid. His team is loaded too. They're both loaded. Does it help? I don't know. We'll find out. I don't know. I really don't know. It's so new. I know that like Amante Lowe is definitely taking advantage of that for sure. Could he have went to a prep school? You're rolling dice when you go to prep school. You're rolling dice. You just look how many kids come back.
Right. I mean, just in this state alone, you look at Louisville. I think there was 3 or 4 that are already back trying to play with their high school team.
Right. You don't know. I mean, and there's so many out there. I just got a text message from a coach today, which is crazy. And hey, I'd like to link you up with Palmetto Postgrad Basketball School in Florida. This looks nice. And you guys probably know the guy that's running it. His name is, and I just got this. I mean, his name is Gallup. He played at Davidson. He was a really good player at Davidson. But he's opened up a prep school. They got pictures of it and all this. I'm like,
I just find it so hard to believe that these kids can go off to, this prep school and play a few games and transfer back to the KHSAA and be eligible.
They can.
I mean, it's happening, I
guess if you're going back to your old school, I don't know if that's.
Well, we had one try to enroll last year right before the tournament, and our superintendent, he kind of shut it down. I mean, that's true. There's no sugarcoating it.
So there was truth to that.
There's 100%, million% truth to that. So, I mean.
So with Talon, I think you've been at is it 15 or 14?
My 16th year, yeah.
Wow, 16. Okay. The Sweet 16, baby. Best high school player you've had, coached, and maybe seen? I know you've seen a lot. You've been doing this for a long time. Where's he at in terms of?
Definitely the top. And what I talk about too, not just the best, what I talk about, and it's a really, really, really tough term to use. And I've had a lot of kids, like Coach Kelch has had a lot of kids come through. And when I talk about the love, and I've had 3 kids in my 16 years that love basketball, that love it. And that was Tay, and that was Mikkel Berries and Ethan Snapp. They love it. Love it. What I mean by that is they'll come before school. They'll go 7 days a week. They'll go 2 or 3 times a day in the summer, maybe 4 times a day. They're nonstop. Now, Kenny was definitely, elite. He'd get up at 6 and go to the gym and work out. And he's just, he wants to make that. He wanted to make that his career. But I've had 3 kids that love it, that they're in there nonstop. So where the other kids are good, I've had that really, really good. They enjoy it. They're very, very talented, but they might miss a workout and they're going to go to their girlfriends, or they're going to go to Kings Island, or they're going to go swimming. And that's a lot of kids. I mean, it's a lot. It's just, it is what it is. Kids play.
Listen to that, kids. Listen to that. Before school, after school, 3 days in the summer.
I'm going to make 200 shots before I leave the gym. 200. I don't care how long it takes. Or I've had out of those 3, I'm going to make 5 threes from the corner, wing, key, wing, corner, 5 in a row, or I'm not leaving until I do that. So
the kids say they want to play at the next level, but the actions they have or the work ethic never matches those words, because they know what to say, but they don't know the amount of work it takes to see these kids play at the next level. And they're not willing to do the 6 o'clock a.m. before school, the 8 o'clock at night workouts individually. They always want somebody there. They want to scrimmage, pick up games. They don't want to put in that individual development work. And
right, shooting games, shooting tip games or something, or
knockout.
Like DJ Jackson came over his senior year, and we got his stats. We looked at him, and he said, I want to play in college. And I said, well, you're good enough. I don't know what level, And when I looked and he was 0% from 3-point line, I'm like, you're a guard. You're shooting. Okay, let me think about this. You're a guard and you're 0 for 2 from 3-point line. That's crazy. You have to shoot like we talked about Amante. You have to get up in high school. I think at least over 32 or higher percent, 35%.
Yeah.
And take good threes. He did that and he worked at it. He was a great kid. He was extremely coachable. I think he got to like 38%, and he was just an all-around player. And we got him into Mercyhurst University. And it was either that or it was a Cal PA with Coach Sam Scombe. I know him. He recruited Ethan. He's out of Cal PA. It's a 2A school. It's a nice facility. It's a really good program. He liked Mercyhurst and they were going Division I. So he got in. He's doing great.
He's a key rotational player for him.
He's playing. And I told Jabari that as well, Jabari Covington. And he's at Union, and he's the man. He's the man down there now. Last year he wasn't. His percentages were horrific. I told him that. And, coaches look at that, especially if you want to, if you're at a school like an NAIA Union and you're averaging 13, 14, you're shooting, 35, 40%, and you're doing well. The coaches are going to see that. It's like the guys down there. It's like the Reed boys. I mean, they're both doing really well at JUCOs. Really good JUCOs. So,
that team was so good, man. Jabari, DJ, Taylor.
Yeah.
I know, the hamstring with Taylor really altered things for you. You went into the state tournament having won, I think it was 22, 23 games in a row.
Yeah.
How much did that derail things? I mean, did that really kind of put the momentum and just say?
He's your fearless leader. They follow his lead. They know that he's vocal and he might hit a big three and, get the guys crowd or get a dunk or, throw a lob. And I mean, he just keeps them going. You could tell the vibe was a little different for sure. I mean,
especially since like you had like the year before you guys made it, it might have been a little bit of an upset to be there, but that was Marquez Miller's senior year. But then if you draw Lyon County first round and they were just a machine, that game, I feel like you went into that one, we win, great. That'd be awesome. But the year after it felt like, with a full squad, we're here to win this damn thing.
Sure. That was our goal. That was definitely our goal for sure. I mean, especially when you win the All-A like that, you're playing teams, like you said, that have a chance to, you got a team or two that have a chance to win a state championship at the end of the year, like a Lyon County. So you get there, you feel like you got a shot. But an injury like that's tough when you take a guy off a team like that. It's like Lyon County losing Travis Perry. Yeah. So, I mean, it makes
all right. I only got you for another minute or two.
That's okay. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Biggest athletic accomplishment, I think. Let's go back circa, I think 2016, 2017 Maysville Dirt Bowl.
Love it, baby.
Now Lofton's team in the championship.
Love it. Yes, that was fun, man.
Winning a Dirt Bowl is probably more prestigious than winning an All-A state title.
I know like a lot of guys around there,
and I know Alvin Sims well, and all those guys. They had always talked about it.
We went down there a few times early on, and
we got sent home quick. We got our guys together.
You got a squad then. You're like, I got to get a squad.
And we were like, man, I got to win this one time, man.
Who was all on that team? I know it was you and Ethan. Who all was on that team?
Brandon Miller played at UC. Steve Sexton
played at Coastal. We had the big guy, John Pack, that played at Coastal with Steve.
Okay.
And just DeMarco Foster from Newport. Just a lot of guys we play around here a lot, man. Yeah, that was fun, man. That was a lot of fun. I still bring that up.
Kelly Middleton, I made sure I wore my shirt that next day. He was our superintendent. He's like, did you win that?
I didn't know who Team Newport was or whatever. Yeah, we won it. Then I had to hear his stories about it.
I remember one time in that Dirt Bowl, I think Kelly scored like 70 on a torn ACL or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he could fill it up.
Yeah, is it still going on pretty good or not like it? I mean,
I don't think it gets the amount of talent it used to get. I think there's still quite a few teams that show up and you kind of support it. But, I think a few years ago they had the Cumberland kid from UC came. He was, it was.
You typically got a really good team or two. And then there's some, some decent teams. But, yeah, probably not as strong as what it used to be, obviously.
Do another show and find out who's the dad-son combo that won it.
I think there's probably only one.
Maybe one.
Yeah, that's pretty. Oh, that's crazy. You brought that up.
I was telling Evan before we went on the air, I said, had to talk to Coach Snapp about winning the Dirt Bowl. He said, he loves to talk about it. He loves it.
We still bring that up. Me and some of the guys will send pictures or, hey, remember this date,
Yeah.
It's an awesome.
Right. So you got, let's see, you start with Bellevue, and that's at Bellevue, right? For the All A.
Holy Cross.
And then you'll if you win, you play the St. Henry Ludlow winner, and that's on Thursday.
Yeah, I can't. No, it'll be Friday, and then the finals are Saturday. So
Friday and Saturday, and that's all at Holy Cross. Is it all at Holy Cross?
All Holy Cross.
Okay, yeah. I was thinking Bellevue because the girls was there, but the boys
just never know. I mean, everybody thought we were going to go in there last year and roll.
Yeah,
rolls his ankle.
Yeah,
and we get beat.
And then Beechwood, Jack Sullivan, man, he just put on a show that night.
Yeah. It's
ninth region All A's. I mean, it's tough.
Yeah,
I think here's my prediction. Remember, I said this. Whoever wins the ninth region this year will be in the finals. They'll be
for the All A.
They'll be in the finals, and they got a chance to win it. Whoever gets out, because you got Cavern up top, Evangel's up top.
Okay.
Who else is real strong All A? There's another one that's up top too. I think Clinton County, but Clinton County Evangel will play first game. And then there's somebody else. I can't remember. There's another strong All A team. They're all up top. So we'll see. But you never know. I mean, you never know. Hopefully, Hester and Walton and them guys get it rolling. I don't know.
They want it too. They that's their third straight year. So
is there a Coach Snapp prop bet on FanDuel or DraftKings on, that I can wager on with that prediction there? Whoever wins the ninth will be in the finals.
We could get it. We could somehow get it. Yeah, let's do that.
Let's not get him in trouble.
Yeah.
That's great stuff.
Snapp,
great stuff.
Appreciate you, man. It was good talking to you.
Appreciate it. Yes.
Yes. After you win the All A state, once you're in that final spot and you win that, we'll have you back on again.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
We'll compare the final game atmosphere of the All A state to the Dirt Bowl. I'd like to hear the
okay.
Yeah.
All righty.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate your time.
All righty. See you guys. Thanks.
Yes.
Bye.
All right. Before we bring Mr. Mustang himself, Dave Schaubel, on, I just want to go on and say thanks to Coach Snapp. Always great talking to him. Great guy, great people. Been around the business a long time, and that's why I titled this podcast kind of Legends. He's been around a long time, and then of course, Mustang Dave's a legend in his own right. But tonight's show, once again, sponsored by Link NKY, the largest newspaper in Northern Kentucky, covering Boone, Kenton, and Campbell counties. Evan, I just saw his face light up when you mentioned the Dirt Bowl. I was just, you said beforehand he loved it. Absolutely loved it. And I just, I just remember watching them play, and I didn't remember it was against Lofton's team until you said something. But, that man was out there 50 years old, beating and banging with college kids, just, kind of dominating the paint.
Yeah.
So I got nothing but an applause for Coach Snapp.
There he is.
Mustang himself, Mr. Mustang, Dave Schaubel. And, going back to our days of the Bluegrass Preps, Mustang Dave. So, Mr. Schaubel, thank you for taking time to join us on the show tonight. I appreciate it. And looking forward to talking to you as always. Don't get a chance to see you much now that I'm on the girls' side and, you calling all the games, but I do get a chance to listen to you, visit your website. So I'm glad to see you and talk to you.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. This is a treat, and I enjoyed listening to Rod Snapp. I really respect him for his longevity, and his kids passed through. He's still there. And then they dropped into Division III in the conference this year, and he's still maintaining the high standards of a competitive program. And he's just a good guy, good for the game. And, if I had a son, I would be more than happy that Rod Snapp coached him.
I agree 100%. That to me, that's about as high as compliment as you can give a coach. If you as a parent is willing to allow your child to play for them, then, to me, that's a very high praise. And I agree with everything you just said about Coach Snapp, and definitely good for the game. So tell us, care if I call you Mustang? It's hard for me to get out.
Patrick, you've always called me Mustang. Why should we change?
I agree 100%. Last week I talked
Don't
about
think you know my real name, right?
just because it's on the screen. Otherwise, I didn't really have a clue what it was. But but no, just last week when Evan was out with the stomach bug, I was talking about, the teams in the 10th region, and I got to talk about Bishop Brossart and their game against Campbell County. But I talked for a few minutes about the Dave Schauble Classic. Just kind of tell us about, how that came about, and just about, how you found out that you were going to get a classic or just something named after you to the school that you've worked at for so many years, that have showed so much love to, and now they're returning the love back with naming a classic after you.
Well, it's always nice to be appreciated. And, Mike Swagger has a tournament named after him over the Christmas holidays that's been going on for years. That is not a memorial tournament. So, that was one of the stipulations. I didn't know a thing about it. Ben Franzen, his wife, lives in Indianapolis. He likes to spend time up there over the holidays. We do an overnighter every year going somewhere for the kids. And then he wanted to kind of stay home over the Christmas holidays and instituted this Dave Schauble Classic. I did not know a thing about it until we printed these magnet schedules that I was going over to compare to make sure there weren't any mistakes on it. And lo and behold, there is the Dave Schauble Classic. So, I thought it was a good thing. Ben Franzen is a first-class guy. I think at Brossart, we really try to do things in a first-class manner. We had a caterer come in and feed each of the teams after each varsity game. We had MVP of each ball game. T-shirts. Oh, where's my T-shirt? Here. You'll have to hit me up for a Dave Schauble Classic T-shirt.
Absolutely.
We got plenty left, incidentally. But, little things like that, mean a lot. I don't think that when you start out in this business, your goal is not to become members of Hall of Fames or have things named after you. They happen. So they kind of run out of candidates, I guess, and you bob to the top. But, I've been with Brossart since the late 70s. Coached freshman ball 6 years, coached varsity girls 5 years, went back when the KHSAA got tough on paraprofessional coaches, went back to the freshman side, worked with Tommy Kramer and Ron Albrink for a couple of years. Man, great experience. Was instrumental in bringing Willie Schlarman to Brossart. And I said, Will, I know we can't pay you a lot, but, if you'll come coach the ball club, I'll do all the other things for you. I'll do the fundraising. I'll do the purchasing. I'll do the travel arrangements. I'll interact with the parents and keep them off your back. And I did that for him for his 6 years here. His last 2 years, Mike Code came out from Highlands, became his varsity assistant, and Mike took over as varsity coach. And I did the same thing for him for 14 years. Scott Code came in for 2, and then the Code era kind of ended. They went back to Dixie, and Ben Franzen came in, and I volunteered to do the same thing for him. Ben is a much more hands-on guy, big on ordering gear, wants our kids to look nice, present ourselves in a first-class manner, travel, stay at nice places, eat at nice places, do nice things that they'll remember down the road. So, that's basically, what I have done. My role in the program has been up to this time. I don't even remember what your question was anymore.
Well, no, just about the classic, and you just kind of, doing all those things, you probably need to have more than just the classic named after you, because if I had somebody who was going to do the fundraising for me, keep the parents off my back and all of that, I would probably name the gym after them. And the concession stand and the driveway and everything else. But, and I'm sure,
take a look at me. What you're looking at's a 78-year-old guy that doesn't realize he's 78. I'm single. So this has been my life. When I wake up in the morning, I look forward to going to practice at 3:30 or 4:15. If I wake up in the morning, I say, "Hey, I'm like the kids. It's game day. Let's go. Let's go." I do, a lot of prep. I'm just sitting here beforehand, and these are broadcast sheets for the Bracken County games that we're going to play on Tuesday night. I take pride in doing the broadcast, being prepared. I did an interview, and congratulations to Kylie Smith, who joined the 1,000 Points Club yesterday, and I interviewed her at halftime. Well, I just didn't want to sit there and say congratulations to, and I did a background. She is Nathan Sider's niece. Unfortunately, she never got to see Nate play. And unfortunately, we didn't have the technology back then that she can sit down and watch video footage and things of him when he was a great player. And I listed about 5 different things that I thought that they had in common: being athletic, being fearless, being competitive, playing with pizzazz, and things like that. And we really, I thought, really had a good conversation. So I do try and do my homework. I do try to prepare. And, I'm fortunate we've got good statisticians that when you go to Ryhertz, boom, our stats are up to date, makes my life easy in preparing, and it makes the program look good.
Well,
And it
and all those things you mentioned that you didn't mention or talk about what I feel is one of the biggest things is your B Mustangs website. And I know just the Pendleton County itself, multiple people talk about the website. I know they go to it. I go to it. Me and Evan was talking about before we went on the air. He uses it as a resource quite a bit. So just kind of tell us about how that got started. And, still 25 years later, it's still going strong and staying updated every week.
All right. They were 2 completely separate things. The B Mustang website preceded our broadcasting live over the internet. Basically, at the turn of the century, back around 2000, 2001, if you'll remember, Yahoo offered free websites, and you could sign up, you could create a website, they would maintain it. And I thought, why not? In my vision for the B Mustangs website was maybe a 6-page thing with the most recent activities on the homepage, the coach's bio, the player's bio, feature for the seniors, our schedule. Well, that thing turned into a monster, and well over 100 pages, maybe 200 or more, of the original B Mustangs website, which was nothing more than text boxes. So basically we went with it. Yahoo sold several times, Abaco the most recent. And then one day a pop-up came up and it said, effective March the 30th, we're no longer supporting the site. Andy Goodman, who's with me tonight to make sure I didn't screw up getting on the webcast, jumped in with Jim Gastright, and Jim took the duty of transferring the important stuff over to a website that Andy created using WordPress. I would never have had the idea where to go. And I'm pretty much monkey trained on the things that I do now. When you sign on in the morning and you look at B Mustangs and all those fancy boxes, pictures, advertisements, links, Andy Goodman is responsible. Now, it gives me something to do between midnight and 3 a.m. in the morning. So I will update it. I'll write a game story. I'll put in the box scores. And then Andy gets up to crack of dawn, cleans it up, makes me look good. But basically, you're right. The B Mustangs website had humble beginnings, and it's just become an evolution, and it's become the go-to place for Brossart news happenings, big events, girls soccer, A state, back-to-back champs. Andy helps me out by he does a lot of the minor sports stuff, the track and field, boys soccer, things that I am not, covering on a day-to-day basis. And it's kind of Team B Mustangs. Now, part two, the broadcasts over the internet. One day, Willie Schlarman and I were standing by the locker room door watching a freshman game, and he said, what would you think about broadcasting our games over the internet? I had no official capacities at varsity games back then. I'd stand next to the locker room door and help the officials, crowd control, help out in the concession stand. And I thought, yeah, how are we going to do that? Do you remember iHigh? All right. Back around 2000, iHigh issued every high school in Kentucky, probably across the nation, a website. You could develop it. You could do nothing. But in that website, they offered you the opportunity to broadcast your games over the internet. And I said, why not? Now, those were tough times because in order to do that, you had to use a dial-up connection. You had to sign on to AOL. How'd you do that? You had to run 6 miles of phone line and find a connection to an analog phone connection to be able to even get on the air. And then things like that our kids take for granted now, our kids can play a game, and by the time they're out of the locker room and on the bus, the replay is up. I used to have to download a sound file, take it to a computer shop, and then they would somehow transfer it back to iHigh, who would create an archive, which you might have got 2 or 3 days later. But one of the good things is I have always filed all of those. Varsity football, girls varsity basketball, varsity boys. And at the end of the season, make a CD and give each of the kids CDs. Well, guess what? I've now outlived CDs. So, you give them to a kid now and they say, well, I don't have a CD player. Well, what's the matter with you? And I have no idea why they do away with CDs, because it's cost prohibitive to do flash drives. So I make it available to them if they want to download them, that they have accessibility to download them. So I just think it's another one of the things that make us a first-class program. And I've been lucky. They have great partners. I started off with Bill Klopp. Bill Klopp, man, he could out-talk me. All right. He had a gift of gab. And then I had Frank Niemeyer. Frank Niemeyer had a professional, deep radio voice. He was terrific. And he kept up with everything going on in Northern Kentucky. He knew every player, good player on every big team. He knew who beat who. And he made us look good. And then Dave Trentman, who is my current partner, came in, and he had kids in the program, and he has stayed with me. I've had a number of backup people, football, different partners. And unfortunately, I severed patellar tendon in my left knee 2 years ago. And I had to give up football because I can no longer climb up into press boxes or walk 6 miles across parking lots. But I still do basketball. And I think we do a pretty good job. We've gone from iHigh, and then they went out of business. We went to Easy Stream. They went out of business. And now we're using Miradix. And I'm very, very happy with them. And they provide a great service for us.
Yeah, Dave, I think my favorite call is, when sitting next to you over the years, covering the 10th region, is it's late in the game. You're either up 20, down 20. You got a kid coming in off the bench, shooting 2 free throws. They're like, let's see if you can knock one down and get his name in the paper.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, get your paper name in the Enquirer the next morning. Unfortunately, they don't do that. You have to check the B Mustangs website. Yeah, those were great days. I lived through an era where the Kentucky Post, I don't think I'm talking out of school here.
Mhm.
It devoted a full page in a daily paper to high school athletics. And when it came regional tournament time, a half a page for the first game and a half a page for the second game. When I was a girls coach, and I'm a varsity girls coach, we're playing in the regional tournament, I said, ladies, tomorrow morning there's going to be a story in the Enquirer. Or the Post, I'm sorry. It's going to take up a half a page in the sports section, and it's going to describe the game that was played here tonight. You guys got to go out and provide the material and make sure it's a good one. You know, and we had great ICN 6 used to cover high school sports. Don Weber, who is our PA guy now and still helps us out. I was telling Andy before, he was a one-man show. He had a camera, he'd stick his head out, ask a question, put his hand back in the question. He loved me because I would talk and fill his airtime. So he'd ask the question, stick his head back, then stick his head out and go cutthroat like, that's enough. That's enough. But those were good days. That was a golden era. I appreciate what you and Ray and all the folks at Terry Bemker, one of your competitors, still try to do. Will Jones doing a marvelous job, 10thregion.com. You know, we're all trying to keep it alive. And if you are interested in high school sports and there is a feature game, there is somebody, yourself, Ray, somebody, Terry, writing about it somewhere, and we appreciate that. Thank you very much.
I remember when I first started coaching, I remember in the front of your scorebooks, you had to have like 6 1-800 numbers to call in scores, the Post, the Enquirer, whatever. And I just saw today that, you know, Frank Ryherd, this will be the last year that he's able to maintain the Ryherd's scoreboard due to I think a diagnosis of a health issue. So, and that's going, you know, when I think we have one of the best.
It has been a godsend. Ryherd's is
a
godsend for a wealth of information for history. The history of, you know, we play Bracken County coming up, and I can click on that little ampersand over on the right, and it will show me, you know, it showed me that our girls had not beaten Highlands since December of 2013. So that's material for my website. We beat them the other night.
What about your boys before they beat Campbell? When was the last time?
2020, we actually beat them. And before that, 2016. The interesting fact, though, in the last 23 games between ourselves and Campbell, Brossard still leads that series 13-11. You know, back during the Willie days and the Mike Code days, we had the upper hand. We had great athletes. We had great teams. Brossard High School went 25 years during the Willie Mike era where we did not have a losing season and had like 11 20-game winners. You ask me why I stuck around? Well, there were always new kids coming in. There was always another team, and we were always going to have success doing what we did. Things have changed. Football has been a big factor at Brossard. Track and field, the KHSAA, this probably doesn't affect anybody but Brossard. The KHSAA sanctioned indoor track is a sanctioned sport now. So a lot of the kids that run track and field in the spring now run indoor track in the winter. You don't have to go to practice every day. You know, basketball's a grind. You have to start right out of the dead period. You're in the gym 2-3 days a week. You get a week off maybe before October 15th. You practice up till opening day, and the season goes until March. And the kids today, you heard Rod Snapp say it, the kids today do not want to make that commitment and dedication. They want to get a job. They want to get a car. And it's a consideration, you know, and unfortunately at a small school like us, where you're 325 kids co-ed, we get spread a little thin because we are very successful at everything we do. Our track and field is championship caliber. Our soccer is championship caliber. Our football needs to take another step forward. Hopefully it will, but it's in its infancy compared to some other programs, even though we've been around for 20 years. Baseball, we've always been right there. Build a new softball, baseball complex. Why wouldn't you want to be a Mustang? Things are good. The conditions are good. The kids don't realize how good they have it. Ben's got a connection to Chick-fil-A. We eat more Chick-fil-A sandwiches than anybody in the history of man. One other thing I do that I really think benefits us, and Ben started this. This is a media guide.
Yeah, it's really neat.
And I start working. I'm already working on the next year's 26-27 and wrote a full page. I've already created us winning the crosstown in the series of the crosstown and, taking up space there. I try to touch on history. I put pictures of all our kids in there. The fact that last year we were 10th Region A winners, pictures, documentation, and we got our work cut out for us. Nicholas County is pretty good. Bracken is not shabby. The Augusta kids were small and scrappy. And it was 1918 yesterday. So these are Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde Mustangs where you don't know what you're going to get. But it would be nice to be back in Owensboro. But if we can't, spreading it around is not a bad thing either.
Yeah, I think the way it could shape out is if the Mustangs handle business on Tuesday night, you could get two really good championship games on the girls and the boys side.
Right.
I know the girls are rolling now with Coach Stam, and only had one setback to Campbell County, who's also a really, really good basketball.
Really, really good. Yes, they are.
And, you could make an argument that both those teams are top 15, top 20 in the state, and that's kind of where they're ranked right now. But what are you seeing kind of in the All A, and what do you kind of see there in terms of how that's going to maybe shape out?
We take them one at a time. I don't know. We are rather unpredictable. We have played a brutally tough schedule. Mm-hmm. Are we talking region? You talking statewide? What are we talking?
No, just in the region.
In the region. Okay. We have really played a tough schedule. And we played Lexington Sarah and Lexington Christian. We've played Grant County, who's having a good year. We've been competitive. If sometimes we're our own worst enemies and we don't realize that patience and working for a high percentage shot might pay off. We're a little aggressive on defense. We get ourselves in trouble, but our sophomores are gaining valuable experience, stepping in. I like our chances. And like I say, Nicholas County, Paris has done us two big favors in the last 4 years. Obviously the Reed team 3 years ago was huge favorites to win. Right. We were big dogs. Paris took them out.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And we beat Paris. Last year, Paris and Nicholas battling. I don't know if that game went overtime, but it was close. Paris took out Nicholas. So Paris plays Nicholas again. So we're all Paris Greyhounds fans. But
I'll let Doctor of Sports know.
Guards. We play aggressive defense. I think Nicholas and us are two different styles. And on the girls' side, man, the young lady from Nicholas, is it or Bracken? One of them.
Maggie Simons from Nicholas.
49 points. I'm anxious to watch her play, So I don't know. I kind of stay on the boys' side. It's going to be interesting. And I think we will represent well. And like I said, good luck to Nicholas. If we can't beat them, we don't deserve to go. And if we do, we'll be happy to go back. Pineville was defeated in the 13th Region A, so they will have a new champion, and that is who the 10th Region boys will play on January the 22nd.
And I tell you what, looking at the district with Calvary beating Scott the other night, that's really shaking some things up there.
We beat Campbell, and we didn't see that coming. We put it all together, all those rosaries, First Friday masses, prayers said, all must have funneled through the perfect storm, and we outplayed them, and we beat them, and we earned that win. And I am so proud of us. But, who knew? But then I pick up or I check. They got a new feature. Snappy Tomatoes putting all the scores on Facebook, and that's wonderful. And there I see Calvary beats Scott. I thought, oh, this is terrific. We beat Campbell. You watch this thing shake out, and it'll be Scott's going to benefit by losing to Calvary since we beat Campbell, and we're going to end up playing Campbell again, or it'd be the same as if we had lost to Campbell County in the seeding games. But we can't control that. We have to take care of business. If we can beat Scott in Taylor Mill, if we can beat Calvary in Taylor Mill, then we'll take whoever comes our way.
So you've been doing this almost 50 years now.
Yep. I worked for 9 head coaches. That's quite a few, all of them different personalities, strategies, mood swings, and things that they like and didn't like. But I just stay in my own lane most of the time. Sometimes I offer suggestions, but for the most part, yes, I have.
What's the best team that you've maybe covered in that run? I know there was a great stretch in the late 90s, early 2000s, like you said, with Cider. And
they were really, really good. The 98 Mustangs lost to Fleming County in the regional tournament. Fleming had not had that good a team since 1954, and they haven't had one since. And we did not play them in the regular season. We fell behind early, and they beat us. But that was a great team. The 2005 team, I love those guys. Kevin Smith and Steve McCarthy and Brian Anderson and Cooper. Please?
Was there a Troy?
Troy Cooper was 7. And I love the 7 team. That was the team that won the All-A state. So that was Jimmy Ubel and Troy Cooper and Josh Kidney and Matt Lloyd and Kramer. I love that team. That may have been my favorite team. The 2005s, I had to patrol them. They loved basketball. They were committed to Brossard, but when they walked out the double doors after practice, I had to keep my eye on them to keep them out of the town crier. The 7s were just great bunch of athletes that all came together. 14s with Drew Burns and Alex Trentman, Jake Jennings. That was another one of my favorite ball clubs. The 2000 team that won the 10th region tournament, they didn't win their 20th game until we beat Graves County at Rupp. So the fact that they won the region, and I got to sit on the floor at Rupp and watch Brossard being introduced as the champions of Region 10, and then to win the game, and we only chartered the bus for one night. That was incredible. So, and I have favorite games. We beat Perry County Central in the 5th third at Lexington Catholic one year, and they had a UK recruit, full house, everybody come, and man, we laid it on them. We were perfect that night, beating University Heights in 2007 when we won, and they had 2 Division I's and a 7-footer. Are you kidding me? I even asked Scott Code walking out of the hotel. I said, do we have a shot here? He said, Shams, they get 2 Division I's and a 7-footer. What do you think? I think we won by 20. Wow. I think we won by 20. In we just harassed them. We played defense. Heading into the 4th quarter, we're up 7. Frank Niemeyer, my broadcast partner, said, this is going to be the longest 8 minutes of our life. And I said, you're wrong. They are done. They are belly up. They are floating up to the top, and they are stinking the place up from here out. And I was right. They just couldn't handle it. So, when you're around a lot, you have favorite games, you have favorite teams, you have favorite players. and there's always players in the pipeline coming up that you want to stick around and follow. And I guess that's my story.
Favorite place to call a game?
Well, the field house is always pretty sweet. I could give you a list of places that are not my favorite places to call a game. That's for sure. Anybody that makes the effort to accommodate you. And now that I got a bad knee, I'm sitting on the floor at Bracken County. Sometimes we're up in the corner. I don't know, a lot of places. I'd have to really stop and think about that. Brossard, I'm pretty happy calling a game at Brossard, but the field house is always special. Last year in the regional, getting to call a game at Montgomery County, and then GRC, Brossard played the first game, varsity boys game, ever played at GRC. And we beat Robertson County.
We don't want to talk about that game.
Overtime, and
we don't want to talk about. We're not talking about that game, Dave. Somebody here coached that Robertson County team. We're not talking about that game, Dave.
Well, you had a foul to give. All right, you had 2 fouls to give.
The instruction.
There's 4 seconds, and I'm doing the broadcast, and I'm thinking as soon as that ball comes in, they're going to foul us. The ball comes in, a pass went out, Eilerman hits a 3, and I was kind of not prepared for that.
Well, I'm not going to mention any of the kids' names because I don't want. But the last instruction in the huddle was we have 2 fouls to give. On the catch, we foul on the catch. As soon as they catch, foul. Don't let them get the shot off. We foul on the catch. Everybody understand? Yes, yes, yes. So when they run the play, then of course they throw the pass to Eilerman, and he was a phenomenal player in his own right. Ethan Eilerman was just a nice player, great kid, and I've seen him several times since, and we've talked about it, and I just love talking to him. And he hit the big shot, and we go to the course getting ready for overtime. You can just see the defeat on those Robertson kids' faces. Should have won in regulation. They didn't follow what we were supposed to do. Probably, I think we were up 4 or 6 most of the fourth quarter, and just kind of basically they hadn't won a regional game in a while, and we kind of played like we didn't know how to win. And so I said, what were we supposed to do? And they said, well, we were supposed to foul on the catch. I was like, why didn't we? And the kid looked at me dead in the eyes. He said, Coach, I forgot.
I forgot.
So you just kind of hug the kid, and, he played a well of a game other than that. And he was instrumental for us all year long. And it's just one of those things where you want the other team to lose it other than for you to win it, But that was maybe one of the best games of that regional tournament.
That was a great game, and of course, it came out in our favor. And we moved that ball so quick, he might have had trouble catching it.
It would have been tough.
And it was what I call short corner out, and boom, it just happened so quick. And even when Eilerman took the shot, I thought it was short until it went nothing but net.
Well, if you remember, and I don't remember exactly what happened, but I think there was a kid involved in that who had just came off the bench, maybe due to foul trouble, maybe a red-haired kid or something. He was a sub. He didn't play a whole lot. He had just came in, and I think he was.
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Well, and I just remember during the COVID years, me, Coach Stam, Coach Scott Code, and Coach Ellsburn, we used to log on Zoom every night, us 4, and we would just talk basketball. We did it for like 365 straight days. We would do it every night. And I was talking to Coach Scott Code about it, and he was just telling me, like, that was one play that they hadn't really ran all year. They'd ran it in the past. They kind of redrew it up in the huddle, and they just executed it to perfection. Like it wasn't something they planned on running, or it's just one of those things that they had in their bank and pulled it out, and they executed it perfectly, and shot went in, deserved to win.
There you go. Answer your question, Evan. Holmes High School is a great place to call a ball game. Yeah. You're right down above the benches. You've got all your electronics, and you're not far from the front door. So, and you've got 4 bars, on your mobile unit. That's sometimes
means a lot.
The problem, So I've got a mobile unit. I've got a hotspot on my Verizon, and then lately I've been even linking, like at Bracken, I'm linking to their in-house Wi-Fi. Yeah. So, things are a lot easier now than they used to be.
for sure.
Well, Dave, it's getting late. We appreciate your time. We've had you for about an hour close to it. So I could probably talk to you for 5 hours. I love hearing your stories, but I've got to work tomorrow. I know Evan probably doesn't. He doesn't know what that is. But thank you for your time. Love to talk to you again sometime. Best of luck for Bishop Brossart this week in the All-A.
Thank you.
And I hope to see you around soon.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. I enjoyed being here, and thanks to my buddy Andy for setting me up with a camera and a mic and allowing this to happen.
Well, I
Thanks,
appreciate you, Dave. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you.
I mean, Mustang could probably tell stories all night.
Yeah.
Guy's seen a lot of basketball, and I was hoping we would get through without hearing the story of the regional tournament at Winchester. And when he mentioned GRC, I knew what was coming. So
You knew it was coming, huh?
I just kind of had to cut him off there. I kind of had to let Dave remember and let Dave know that I was in charge of this podcast. You know, no, I mean, and I'll be honest with you, that was a tough pill to swallow because, you know, I wanted nothing more for those kids at Robertson than experience winning a regional tournament game, and it just wasn't in the cards. But just real quick, let me see if I can figure out how to do this again. He mentioned our good buddy. Hold on. Oh, okay. I might have to do it like this. There's our good buddy right there. But why won't that come up? Remove. Oh, there we go. All right. From 10thregion.com, just for those in the 10th region who have some rooting interest or want to attend, tomorrow, Nicholas and Paris girls will play at 6, and the boys, Nicholas and Paris, will play at 7:30. And then on Tuesday, you have Bracken and Brossart that Mustang just referred to. The girls will play at 6, and then the boys play at 7:30. And then on Thursday, you have the championship game. The girls' game will start at 6, and the boys will start at 7:30. All those games will take place at Bracken County. And also, I also have the 9th region here for those who are, if I can figure out where to find it. All right.
Starts tomorrow, Monday.
Yeah, I've got the coach. Let me think of his name. Ricardo
Johnson. Yeah.
Yeah, he
tweeted out a bracket today.
Yeah, and I'm trying to. It was kind of small on his story, but I've tried to, while we were sitting here talking, tried to. It's still kind of small. I can't really see the dates and stuff. Maybe if I,
tomorrow is Monday. You got Heritage in Beechwood at 6, and then Villa Madonna and Dayton at 7:45.
All right, and that starts tomorrow. Then I've got it up a little bit bigger there so you can see.
Tuesday game. St. Henry Ludlow at 6, and then Bellevue Newport at 7:45. And then Wednesday, Newcastle plays the Heritage Beechwood winner, and Holy Cross plays the Villa Dayton winner.
That's kind of setting up, and not familiar much about NCC, but on the bottom there, it's kind of setting up a Beechwood Holy Cross semifinals, and then at the top should St. Henry and Ludlow be a competitive game, Evan? Or I don't know much about Ludlow this year as far as what they or how they're doing.
I'd say St. Henry's probably the favorite there. So I would not be surprised to see, Tim Sullivan's Crusaders and Snapp's Wildcats there on Friday for the first semifinal. That'd be my take on it.
That, like you said, those 3 of the final 4 teams in that 9th, I mean, that could be Newport, Beechwood, and Holy Cross.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 teams that have a puncher's chance of winning the regional tournament. I mean, of course, I always got to factor in Cov Cath and how good they are. And I did see a a Facebook something where Athens McGillis had a big game over break, or had won the Skyline player of the game in some game or whatever. Had big.
Yeah,
numbers.
he won our player of the game. It was our game of the week. He had 24 points at halftime against Beechwood, and Beechwood had 22 at half. So
did they beat Beechwood pretty handily?
Yeah, it was a running clock. Beechwood had its second leading scorer out. O. McCormick was out, and then they lost Ryan Smith early to I think he ended up breaking his nose. So they lost 2 starters like right out of the gate. It just it was at Covcath, perfect storm. I don't know. The Colonels are just really, really good. They're a top 5 team in the state for a reason. But I'll tell you what, the teams are starting to really turn the corner. Lloyd Memorial being one of them.
Yeah, Lloyd, didn't they?
They won at Holy Cross earlier this week, and then they're playing really well. It seems like Ryle's turning the corner. They beat Beechwood, and then they beat Highlands. Last weekend,
yeah.
So.
Was that Highlands' first loss?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So no more undefeated teams in the 9th?
Nope, no more.
I'm just saying that middle to upper echelon of the 9th kind of reminds me of the SEC in basketball. Every single night.
Yeah, you got to bring
playing somebody. If you don't bring your A game, you're getting beat.
Yeah, I mean, even you look at Connor the other night in a 33rd district battle with Cooper, and Cooper's a little down this year, but they needed a buzzer beater to beat them.
I saw the video of that kind of off
Brady Bush.
Man, yeah,
about 30. It's not like it was a regular 3-pointer. It was like
he was probably just inside half court. Probably, I mean, 30
feet. Volleyball line, about where he was. So,
and I love watching buzzer beaters when they're not against me. Don't care much for them when they're against me, but I do know, and I do want to emphasize for the people watching. We've got several, actually, quite a few watching online live right now. You can always comment to the show if you have questions for our guests. Also, if there's any players or coaches, if you want to send us in highlights, just plays or stats, milestones, whatever, we'd love to present those. I do know Pendleton County had a big week from Cam O'Hara this week. Cam, in our first district game against Robertson County, I think Cam had maybe 8 threes, maybe. And then he broke the school record the next night against Heritage Academy where he hit 11 threes. So
wow. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And
so,
also, I saw the other day Malachi Ashford from GRC scored his 2,000th point.
Yeah, I did see that. I'm glad you mentioned that shot against the last second shot, because I was going to mention that. I couldn't pronounce the guy's last name, but I knew that that was a big deal.
Yeah.
So, all right. Anything else before we go? I know next week we'll be able to kind of highlight the 9th Region All-A.
Yeah.
We'll have a winner. I hope to be able to get maybe the 9th Region coach who won it, and maybe the 10th Region coach who wins the All-A this week. Maybe they can be our guests next week. I'll reach out to those guys and see if maybe we can get them.
Yeah.
Anything else this week? I know we went kind of long with Shabs, but sometimes he's tells some good stories and he's just so easy to listen to.
Yeah, I mean, there's some big games this week. Obviously, like we had mentioned the All-A this week. Some other big games: Highlands at Dixie Heights Boys. That's on Tuesday. Covcath at Highlands on Friday. So those are 2 of the marquee games.
I do know Montgomery and GRC Boys play this Thursday at Montgomery County. So.
Okay.
Montgomery County on Saturday had their Joe B. and Denny Classic, and they happened to play Princeton out of Ohio. And I think Princeton's the school that had that transfer come in who may have been their first NIL athlete or something, maybe. And they beat Montgomery 81-49. So Princeton must be the real deal.
Yeah, they're solid. There they are.
But Montgomery's got Pendleton on Tuesday at home, and then their big game is Thursday this week, is the first of 2 matchups with GRC at Montgomery, and that goes a long way in their seeding. And because Bourbon County got a big win in double overtime against Scott County. Scott County's had a really good year this year, and Bourbon beat them at home. So I saw a comment that their head coach had said, we knew, and our players and coaches knew that we could play against compete and win against the good teams. We just had to go out and show it. And they did that against Scott County, who has had a pretty good season to start. So Bourbon County may have a little bit to say come the end of the year if they can put it all together.
Yeah.
So. All right, before we go, KDA Elevate Your Spaces, a leader in the K-12 furniture market from the 1st region to the 16th, have helped countless districts across the state redesign existing rooms as well as create visions for brand new buildings. Please reach out to Jackson Strong via email at jackson@kdaspaces.com or call 859-910-6750 with any questions or requests. Jackson, being a varsity assistant coach for Pendleton County, is very familiar with high school sports. Mainly, I think he's officiated some high school basketball in the past. Also wants to thank all the players, coaches, and officials who make high school basketball a special time of year. So also want to thank Jackson KDA for their sponsorship as well as Link NKY. So, well, Evan, I know you're going to be busy this week with coverage. And, we got 3 games this week. We've got Ludlow and Bellevue, or Beechwood, Ludlow and Beechwood at home on Monday and Tuesday, the Lady Cats do. And then we got our first, or not our first, it'll be our big district matchup against Nicholas County at home on Friday. So got a big week for the Lady Cats. So
that's good timing for you all, because you can catch them right after the All-A.
Well,
might be able to catch them off guard.
If one thing, Aaron Stam's a buddy of mine. If there's one thing I can ask him to do, it's to wear Maggie Simons out, because that girl can play. She's a scorer. But what a lot of people don't realize is Maggie's got a lot of help this year. She's got the Orzen girl from Montgomery transferred in, and they have a Zoe Brown who's a 7th grader who hit 10 threes in a game over break, I think. She's putting up double figures. I mean, just can flat up light it up. And they're they play 4 or 5 7th graders on the varsity level night in, night out. Wow. And these girls have won, I think the state tournament they do for middle school, 6th grade year and their 7th grade year. So pretty solid. So Coach Martin's got her a dynasty coming in Nicholas County, I believe. But if nothing else, we'll go ahead and end it there and say, before you go, please make sure you like and subscribe to the podcast. It really does help us out. So it is free. It doesn't cost you a dime to like and subscribe. Or if you see us posting the graphic for the upcoming show, just give it a share. Try to reach as many people as possible. So thank you once again for your time. Thank you for your tuning in. With the temperature dropping tonight, getting cold, you can always stay hot.
Yo, check it. 9th and 10th regions, stand up. I say stand up. Stand up. Bright lights shining, about to put on the show. The Stay Hot podcast, where the real ones go. High school hoops, future legends on deck. Talking next up, star sport and Nike check. From the hardwood grind to the highlight play. Breaking ankles, dropping dimes, scoring every way. Chasing big moments in every manner. From driveway dreams to championship banners. It's the passion, the culture, the hustle, the grind. Every jumper, every crossover, greatness defined. Shooting the deep three or rocking the rims on the small town stage or in sold out gym. So lace up your kicks, turn the volume up. The season don't end till we get to rough. Future legends in the making, every player grinds. A Stay Hot podcast where the stars align.